Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever or wherever you are watching. How is everyone today? This light seems a little too bright. I'm going to turn that off. Yeah, that's better. And, oh, cool. See, if I keep my head like this, my glasses won't have a glare on them. Cool. Okay, let's check out the chat. Chris is here. She says, hey, Shasha, hey, chat. Fomiki Latte is here. They say, hey, y'all. Before I get started, I'm going to wait a couple more minutes for people to come into the room. But guess what? I had a good time today. Oh, a couple more. Lorgen is here. Says Lady Shasha is turning not into a zombie, but a couch crazy lady. I guess. And Chris says, love to look today. Thank you. This is what I look like when I actually leave the house. You can't see the necklace, though. The necklace is really cute. I'll stand up so you can see it a little bit. I thought this was really, really cute. It's got like different stones here. But I actually went out today and I went to the dollar store. I know, exciting times. For me, it's exciting times. But I needed to get a new calendar because my calendar was pretty much done. And I know, it's analog. I do have a Google Calendar, but I need the visual reminder on the wall to look for the Google Calendar. So that's why I went to the dollar store. And luckily, got one that is lavender. Well, it's got a pink exterior, but it's lavender, which is my favorite color. So I was happy I got that. And I needed some Post-it notes too. A notepad, but then I looked and I saw all these cute things. This is also lavender. It's hard to tell. Maybe this light is too. Maybe if I turn this light down a little bit, you can see that it. I don't know. On camera, this looks white, but it's also lavender. And then instead of I got some new scissors. I needed the scissors. I know you guys are. If it's your first time here, it might seem random, but I promise you, I will get to the show. I got these cute ass pencils, kind of like the ones that you use in like grade school that have the little top that you take off and you put it in the bottom and then you get a new one because I love a good mechanical pencil. I have like, more expensive mechanical pencils, but I like those. And instead of regular Post-its, I got these really cute. Try to get a good look at. Okay, if I hold it like that, you can see it a little bit better. I think what I'm trying to do is cheer myself up through the pandemic. I think that's what I'm doing. And I found this that looks like a coffee cup. I think that's so cute. And that was my reasoning for why I can get this as an adult, because children typically don't drink coffee. But anyways, enough of my fun at the Dollar Tree. Let's get into the TV show, not movie. Here we go. Put this back up a little bit. Couple more comments. Lauren says the Breakfast Club Shasha looking good. Yes, that's what I was going for. I got up and I thought, well, I want to wear my hair. Well, not my hair, but the hat. See, if I wore the hat like this, that probably, I felt like that looked 80s, but this looks really 80s when you tilt it this way. So I went with the tilted. Plus, it was raining a little bit today, so that helps. Chris says those are helpful. Yes. And also, Chris understands me. Today marks the beginning of Virgo season. So, I had to get my organizational stuff, which includes calendars. I enjoy making spreadsheets just for fun. These are Virgo things. Tony Man says, I don't beg because I'm not from Begonia. I dress warm so that I don't catch pneumonia. My rhymes are stronger than ammonia. In the diamond, you're a cubic. I guess. Why didn't you finish it? Wait, and I'm a diamond and you're a cubic zirconia. Yeah, you didn't write out the rest of the lyric. That's nice and smooth. Tony Man says, I guess the show goes on or you don't check text. Oh, I didn't see a text message. I heard the thunder. Are we expecting a severe storm? Because normally I go on even if we're having a little bit of a thunderstorm. Are we? Because when I looked earlier, it just said thunderstorm expected at 3:30. Yeah, it says you may have to do the live later or cancel. It's getting nasty, and the thunder just shook the floor of the building. I'm already started. What I'm gonna play it by ear. If I get kicked off, then I will create another stream later. But since I already started, I'm gonna roll with the punches and see how far we get. But yeah, be forewarned that there's a storm going on. So if I get kicked offline, my apologies. So let's get started. Did you guys watch 90 Day UK this week? Just get myself lined up here for my visuals. And we'll go right here. Chris says, yes, it was weird. Lordran says, yes. Tony Man says, yes, I was annoyed by so much. Chris says, they always do uncomfortable conversations in public. Yes, they do. Just a reminder, I have this up to remind you that I did finish The Love in Paradise. The only reason why I'm doing a second reminder is when I initially did the stream, it kind of got hidden because I got a copyright claim and then I disputed it. So then they released it. So now I'm just showing you this, that for anybody who's watching Love in Paradise, the video is back up for episodes 8 and 9. And also, if you're first time here or if you are watching this on the replay, I'm also letting you know that I already did 90 Day Fiance Tell All part 1 and part 2 on my channel. This is just the thumbnail for part 2. And we had a good time talking about that mess there. Later this week on my other channel, I will be continuing on talking about Hellbound and Ju-on Origins, both Netflix series, and we're on episode 5. We're almost finished because the finale is episode 6. All right, now let's get into 90 Day Fiance UK. Tonyman says, Lordran didn't watch shit. He's just trying to fit in. Let me get curly girl over here. I don't know why you're trying to start stuff in the chat, but Faux Mickey Latte says, yeah, I think it was the right episode. Yeah. I feel like there's something I think, oh, maybe it's my eyelash that I'm seeing out of the corner of my eye. I kept on seeing something out of the corner of my eye, but I think it's my own eyelash. Okay. So let's get it started. We start off with Richard. And I told you before how much I don't like this velvet, I guess, or maybe it's more of a terry cloth shirt. I don't like it at all. And then he pairs it with these light jeans. Like he might have been able to make it work if he wore black pants, but you know, that's neither here nor there. And he's doing this little funky dance because I think he sees himself as a comical person, but he's not very funny. He ends up first video chatting with, what's her name? Kathleen. And could you imagine if somebody video chatted you and this is the image that you see looking at you? And why did he put the camera down low like this at this angle? And I actually cut the bottom part off because I didn't want to see, like, I didn't want to see his nutsack in the sweatpants. Maybe that's why he's doing it. I was puzzled why Richard got a camel tattoo on his toe and not a moose on his knuckle. Okay, now that's I understand what you mean by that, but that's funny. I haven't gotten to the toe part yet. But yeah, this is what she saw looking back at her, and hey, this is what she saw. He looks a little, I don't know about the eye, so maybe he's putting on airs. He could be putting on airs just for the sake of being a compelling spectacle on television. Why does my light keep doing that? Bump it. We'll do it without the light on because it keeps turning itself off anyways. And then we see Kathleen, who's waiting for him in the Philippines. She does have a short conversation with her brother about the whole situation and how she worries about her parents. And, you know, she kind of confirms with her brother that he's going to take over a lot of the duties that she had when she goes to England. And then we get a scene of them reuniting at the airport. And Richard gives us another one of his outfits that it looks like he borrowed from Jabri. It's the full tie-dye. The pants are tie-dye. The top is tie-dye. It's just a lot of tie-dye coming at you through the airport. But they're happy to see each other. He immediately takes his shirt off when they get to the hotel and asks her to give him a massage. And he couldn't even be bothered to wax his back before coming over. Tony Man says, that's the last face you see before the chloroform rag hits you. Yeah, so it's not just me. I thought he looked a little, you know, off. But like I said, she should, and as if this isn't bad enough, comes out, hairy back. Okay, you didn't shave your back. You asked this girl to give you a massage. No, it gets worse because what would it be if we didn't see Richard nearly naked? And of course, we have to know that he is from the UK by I think this is called the Union Jack flag, because I know there's different flags in the UK. Correct me if I'm wrong if that's not the Union Jack flag, but yeah, on the drawers, and then he goes straight to sleep. It's implied that he goes straight to sleep without, you know, doing anything with Kathleen, which I don't think she is happy about. I mean, she wasn't mad. I think she was just a little bit disappointed, but I don't know. I don't know what Richard's point is. And this is what Tony Man was talking about with the camel toe tattoos. Get it? It's so clever. Foamy Hilati says, I don't mean no harm, but Richard's a wide back B. And then Tony Man says, I'm sure he'll be here to correct you like he did last week. I don't mind it. At least he doesn't take himself so seriously or feel like he's too above talking to anyone. So I think that's at least a positive trait. He did show some other positive traits this episode that I will talk about. Because after they got the tattoo, they went shopping for a mattress. And this is how he was testing the mattresses out. Okay. But he showed a glimmer of compassion by buying this bunk bed. And Kathleen was like, well, why are you buying a bunk bed? And he said, well, I'm not going to take this, you know, to the US with us. So at least, you know, when I leave, your family will have two extra beds instead of one. And I thought that was a very thoughtful gesture. So there's glimpses of humanity within Richard. Let's see if let's see if he turns it around, because there have been scenes of 90 Day where we have rooted for somebody and then they became absolutely god awful, and then we couldn't tolerate them. And then there's other seasons where we first met an individual and we hated them and then they won us over. So maybe Richard will be one of the ones that wins us over if he continues to show this better side of himself. I think Big Ed was the one that did the opposite. I think people were originally rooting for Big Ed, and then he just kept on showing his whole entire ass over and over and over again. I don't remember why I put that image there. Let me check my notes. Oh, that's right. Kathleen is still upset with him about the whole nudist quiz thing. Almost forgot to mention that. So they go back out to dinner to discuss the nudist quiz. And I don't think it was all that resolved. I think, if I recall correctly, I think he said that he would try to tell her in advance before, or it's possible I just wasn't paying attention because I wasn't that invested in that particular conversation. My apologies. I might have just, toned out for a moment there. Tony says, and then there's Bilal and Jabri that you can't stand from the start to the end. Yeah. Actually, I was not so anti-Jabri when he was with his parents, because his mother is a real piece of work. She plays mind games, and it's not cool. So I was kind of rooting for him, but then his behavior at the tell-all was real messed up. Especially the name calling people like white trash and stuff. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. Because whose video was I watching? I think it was Auntie's advice, that she also noted how classist that was for him to make that statement. It's not just cultural pejorative. It's also classist to call somebody, poor trash because they didn't grow up in the same circumstances that you grew up in. That really illuminated something to me about Jibri and how much he's about image. Shallow would be the best term to call him. So next up, we catch up with Kadie. I can't help but say it like her grandmother because it's so cute that way. And Alejandro, and they go out to lunch, and Kadie says something very, very interesting. She says that she's never had seafood before, and I find that super interesting because she's from England, which is an island. Am I tripping? Hold on. Let me Google this. Maybe I'm tripping. I came through the American school system. Let me look up UK map. Yes, it's an island. So how did you grow up on an island and never have seafood? You're surrounded by the sea. And it's an island that's known for fish and chips. Fomiculati says, you have to remember Jibri's mother went through the BS with him 3 years ago. Oh, that's right. That's true. Because Jibri and Miona got married 2 years ago. So everything on the show was basically a reenactment or some other BS. Tonyman says, and if the races were reversed, Boston would have been canceled. Yes, that is true. If John had said something culturally insensitive to Jibri as what he said to John, he would have had to have an apology. TLC wouldn't have put him back on, because that's what happened with Tyreek and Dean. They didn't even say a actual slur. They implied that Tim that they thought that Tim was gay, or they implied that they thought that Tim was a trans woman, and that's why they're not on. That's what the streets say is the reason why they're not on Pillow Talk anymore. Aside from, later on ending up having Tyreek said that he wasn't going to do Pillow Talk if Dean was there, and Dean saying that he wasn't going to go do Pillow Talk if Tyreek was there. But before that, because they had, and it didn't even, I don't think they said it on the show. I think they said it on Instagram or something, and they had to apologize for that. Okay, so Alejandro orders her. Now, here's the thing. It's already kind of odd Let me move this stuff over so I can get comfortable. It's already odd that she's never had seafood growing up on an island that's surrounded by the sea, that's known for fish and chips and fish. Well, depending on the type of fish, there's freshwater fish and there's also, fish from saltwater fish. So that's enough. But even so, starting her off with octopus is a huge leap. You maybe start her off with like some catfish or even shrimp. Octopus is a tall order to get someone to eat that's not used to eating seafood. So I think Alejandro kind of overcorrected, I guess. But it's the thought that's, I think it's the thought that matters. He wanted her to enjoy something in his country, maybe something that, I don't know whether that particular octopus soup is a traditional Mexican dish. Possibly it was, possibly it might not have been. I don't want to assume, but that could have been why he wanted her to try it. But at least she was, for the most part, polite about it. She has a way of, the funny thing about Kadie is, see, I was trying not to say it like her grandmother. She says the most ignorant things, but sometimes she just seems like she's so innocently saying these things, like you almost can't get mad at her because I'm saying ignorant in the truest sense of the word, meaning lack of knowledge of. That's what being ignorant means that you don't have the knowledge of this thing. I'm not calling her stupid. I don't think that she's stupid. I don't think she's dumb. I'm saying that in certain ways she is ignorant, but she seems like a very, very sweet person otherwise, which is interesting. Fomiculite says there's prawn in the UK. She has to have tried it. I can see not liking octopus. Yeah, that's an acquired taste, and also depends on how it's cooked. Me personally, I think I prefer squid to octopus. I don't know why it tastes better than octopus to me, but it just does. She does give it a go. She tries it, but she ends up spitting it out. She doesn't chew it up and swallow it. But she at least tried it, which is more than we can say about some other people that we've seen on 90 Day. I don't know whether it was season 1 or season 2, that McDonald's manager that went all the way to the Philippines and wouldn't try the roast pork. And I'm like, you are McDonald's manager. You cannot tell me that you're careful about what you put in your body when you're a McDonald's manager. And Filipino roast pork is fire. If you have not had it before and somebody offers it to you, try it. It's so good. Tony says, I had octopus pulpo. It's a Spanish dish. Sucker stuck in the back of my throat many moons ago. It was like having a pill stuck in your throat. That sounds like you might not have chewed it up well enough. Or it could have been something else. I don't know. Later on, Alejandro takes her for a hike, and it was a really, really nice area. Like, it looked beautiful, and I wish I could smell it because I like certain outdoorsy places have an amazing smell. So, but she wasn't actually dressed for hiking, but she still went hiking. Even though he told her they were going hiking, she still didn't really dress for hiking. I do think her dress is kind of cute. I like that colorway of the green with the pink flowers. So they're going on a long hike. But the funny thing that she said was that she nearly risked her life to hike this hike with him. And I'm like, you risked your life. Yeah, it's a little bit on an incline. It's not life risking. But what about the crew? There's a whole camera crew that has to walk around you, and some of them backwards to get shots like these. This person's walking backwards down the stairs. And at one point it was drizzling. So these are stone stairs that are wet, and stone can get very slippery when it's wet. So now you have a camera crew and, the sound person walking backwards down the stairs. But you risked your life. This is what I mean by she says things and it's very innocent. Her mind state is very innocent, but she doesn't think things through too logically. And this is the waterfall, which again, the next thing that she says, I cannot defend in any way at all. She asks if it's a natural waterfall or if they turn it off at night. Now, that's something I would ask like right here where I live in Orlando, because we do have stuff like that. You go to Disney, there's all kinds of fake mountains and all kinds of stuff. We have Volcano Bay, which is a water park that has a fake volcano. But that the fact that you had to hike to that should have let you know that that was a natural formation. That's not, it's not, how do, I'm trying to think of what the opposite of natural would be other than unnatural. But yeah, I could just laugh when she said to turn the waterfall off at night. So there's a reason why he had her hike all the way to this location. He wanted a really beautiful backdrop and something that would be memorable when he proposed to her. And so, you know, he at first he's a little bit nervous because he thought that, well, she didn't enjoy the hike, so maybe it's not the right time to ask her. Chris says, I was hoping that was a joke. And Tommy says, artificial. Yes, thank you. Artificial is a better word for me to use than unnatural. Thank you for that. But he gets over his nerves and he does eventually propose to her. And she says yes, and they're very happy together. And there's, if you look in the background, there's a crowd that was kind of watching, which is going to happen anyways. If you walk someplace and you're being followed by a camera crew, people are going to want to know, you know, who are you, what's going on? So they're going to watch. So, and I thought I heard a few people clapping or applauding. So that's really nice. And then they, oops, I hit that twice. They show off the ring. It was hard for me to get a screen capture because her hand, she kept on going like this instead of holding her hand still. So it was hard to see it. But when he was holding it in the box, it looked very nice. But they do actually look genuinely happy. I believe that they actually like each other. Now we get to see Emma, who's from Cleckheaton, West Yorkshire. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Maybe it's I feel like it's Cleckheaton, but if anyone's from the UK watching this, correct me if I mispronounce something. She goes to visit her friend. Did I write down her friend's name? I might have, I might not have. No, I didn't write this friend's name. I wrote her other friend's name down because she goes to see two different friends. This one, she went to show her ring because Hossein asked her to marry him, and she's showing the ring off and saying that they're going to travel to Turkey to get married. And her friend has concerns like any friend would. I think that's pretty much, it was a very short scene, so there wasn't much to say except her friend expressed her concerns, and Emma said she had concerns too, but she trusts Hossein and she's going to go over and get married. Later, she goes to see her other friend, Claire, who is an esthetician, who's going to give her some Botox. And the thing about this is maybe that will be helpful to her, but I actually feel like, well, I can't say for sure because they didn't show us everything. You know, they cut a lot out. But hopefully her friend also talked to her about a good skincare regimen because that makes a world of difference. A good skincare regimen with, you know, good moisturizers, good exfoliators, a good, depending on her skin type, maybe she needs a clarifying mask, maybe she needs a moisture mask. There's all types of things that you could that you can do daily that will prevent well, it probably would not benefit an esthetician who does Botox to tell this person this because they want them to come back and get more Botox. So maybe Claire didn't tell her that, but you don't have to do too much. If you basically this, if you take care of your skin daily early, then you have to do less later. And use sunblock. Yes. Especially if you have less melanated skin, use sunblock because it will dry out your skin and you'll regret it. Chris says she has strong sugar mama vibes. Yes, she's given me Kimberly. We said last week, Kimberly and Usman vibes. Full Mickey Latte says eye cream. Yes, there is a great snail cream. Oh gosh, who makes my snail cream? I can't remember the name of the label. Maybe one day I'll do a skincare thing. But some brands that I really like their skincare. Innisfree makes really good skincare stuff. I can't think of the top of my head. I have to go look at my vanity and see what I use. But yeah, a good eye cream does wonders, especially overnight. And this is her getting ready to apply her Botox around. I believe she's putting it around her eyes to kind of loosen because the way Botox works is it's actually botulism, and they inject it into your muscles, and it kind of paralyzes your muscles slightly so that you can't squint, so you can't get crow's feet because you physically can't go like this. Tony says, I posted before Chris info. I'm being passed over. I'm sad. Oh, I missed it. Okay, let me go back up. He says, I can't believe that woman is 4 years younger than me, but looks 10 years older. Yeah, I mean, it could be just the type of lifestyle that she had. Maybe she worked, in a factory, or maybe she had, well, they only showed her with one daughter. So it's not that, because sometimes people that have like 6 and 7 children, that's a full-time job itself. You have, a number of children, but it could have just been not wearing sunscreen, not moisturizing, excessive drinking, and excessive smoking. I don't know if she's a smoker. If she's a cigarette smoker, cigarettes will take all the moisture out of your skin. Yeah, it could be that. She might be a cigarette smoker. That will age you like nobody's business. You don't even understand. Don't start, if you're younger, don't start smoking cigarettes. Okay, so let's see what else happened. I think that's all that happened with her. Yeah, so then we get on to Victoria. And Victoria is going to visit her friend. Did I write that friend's name down? Probably not either. Oh, I did write her friend's name down, but I'll get to it in a minute. And what I notice is they show like these little images of where Victoria is from in England. And it immediately reminded me of where I grew up, because the part of the United States that I grew up in, which is I started off in Connecticut, but in Massachusetts, and then moved to Connecticut when I was 5. Yeah, I was still 5 years old. And that area is called New England, or more, when you get to Connecticut, they call it Southern New England. And the reason why they call it New England is because, number one, a lot of the places are named the same. Like in Connecticut, we have a New London, we have a Manchester, we have a Cheshire. Like most of the places are named the same as places in England. So that's one reason why it's called New England. But another reason why it's called New England is because it literally looks like England. This is still from 90 Day UK, and they're showing this building. I don't know where this building is in the UK, but it reminded me of this building that's in downtown Hartford that is part of Trinity College. And then later on within the same little segment where they're showing the little places. Oh yeah, New Britain too. Tony said New Britain. Yeah, we have a New Britain in Connecticut. And they show this street in the background of Victoria's segment. And you see this building right here, this building that's white with a little bit of these brown, I don't know what you would call them. I'm not familiar with architectural terms. Yep. Hartford, Glastonbury. We also have a Stanford. It's all renamed. But like I was saying, this whole street, this building right here, that's somewhere in England, where I'm guessing where Victoria lives. This is in West Haven, Connecticut, and that's why we're called New England. Like literally, if I showed you these pictures and didn't tell you that we were in different, like if I just went like this and said, "Oh, this is England," and just scrolled through, you wouldn't even think that some of them were outside of England because it looks the same. So, anyways, Victoria goes to visit her friend Libby, and they talk about her reservations about Sean. And can I say I love Libby's kitchen? I really like the whole setup. I like the backsplash, and I like that the wine rack is built into the island. I like that a lot. I guess I'm showing my age because I didn't used to be that excited about kitchens, even though, I mean, especially I should say, since I'm not much of a cook. I can cook, but I don't like to cook all the time. But I like a good kitchen. I just do. I don't know. So anyways, she's talking to Libby about Sean, which I keep wanting to call him Shantori because I believe his name is Shantori. And I know it was about the marriage thing because Sean doesn't give a straight answer about whether he's married or not. And that's very, very troublesome. And later on, after she talks to Libby, who's very supportive of her, but at the same time says that she doesn't really trust Sean either. Oh, Tonyman says that's the pharmacy in West Haven, the one that was on the corner. Yeah, I never went inside there before, but I know that I've driven by it all the time, and I just knew that it was in West Haven. Where was I? I lost my place. Oh yeah, about Sean being a liar. Chris says a nice kitchen is great to have. Yes, very much so. Speaking of kitchens, I should tell this short story before I move on. I left I left like a watermelon out on my sister's countertop, and I guess after a couple days it started to leak a little bit, and it left a little spot, like maybe a spot like that big, that needed to be just probably soaked with some baking soda overnight and then cleaned. And she had the biggest of fits about her granite countertop. And, and I just looked at her and I said, this is a first world problem. You are, I mean, I get being upset. And the stain did come out. It was not permanent. Thank goodness, because I would have never heard the end of it if that permanently stained her granite countertop. But just the fact, I was just looking at her like, the fact that you can complain about a stain on your granite countertop is very first world problems. So anyways, she later goes to talk to Sean, and she says, you have any documentation proving that you are divorced? And he pulls up something on his phone and says, yeah, it was completed in 2020. And then she looks and she was like, this says 2022. So it's like he can't get his story, he couldn't get his story straight to save his life. And I think this is towards, I want to say this might have been at the very end of the episode, she basically just leaves him in the hotel room by himself, because she's like, I'm sick of you not being able to answer questions straight, so I'm gonna bounce. Now we see in the previews for the next episode that she's gonna end up talking to him again, but I feel like their story is such a non-story. Like, either, like, if he keeps lying, just stop talking to him, period. But I feel like the story is gonna be stretched out. It's being stretched out as much as Bilal and Shaida's prenup story was stretched out, and I'm just not here for it. I'm bored. We also get to see in the next preview, whose friend was that? Because I don't think we didn't have any Sean and Christine this episode. But next episode, we see Sean's friend asking Christine about the paternity of her son. And here's the thing, that gets dicey. And here, the reason why I say it gets dicey is because she's an Asian woman, and I went to school with two people who were half Asian and half European, and they looked 110% Asian. Like, you wouldn't have known that they had one European parent, because Asian genes are mad strong. So I'm not on board with the people who automatically say, oh, the child doesn't look like it's Sean's, because 9 times out of 10, children that are well, let me not say 9 times, let's say 8 times out of 10, children that are half Asian, half European, typically look Asian, not European. It just is what it is. Toyman says, I don't think Sean is real. He's a negative stereotype in real life. Yes. Fomikilai says she needs to drop him, but probably won't. Yeah, he just seems like he's hiding a lot. I think that's it for, yeah, that was it for those visuals. We can get into the tweets. There are way less tweets for this show than for regular 90 Day. And I think it's probably going to be more tweets for 90 Day Happily Ever Ever After. Ever. It feels like it's ever. All right, let's get these tweets pulled up. Even the show, like, I think the show was either 50 something minutes. It's usually only like 48 minutes, but I think it was 52 minutes this week, and they barely had enough to fill in the 52 minutes. So look, we lucked out. It seems that the storm passed us by, so that's cool. Share screen. Okay, let's see what Twitter has for us. Here we go. Guilty Pleasure TV says, I know the internet hates Richard, but I appreciate the sentiment behind him purchasing the bunk beds for Kathleen's house. I agree. Chris says, I think you mentioned the UK version is closer to the start of US 90-day, less fame chaser, so less drama. Yeah, I agree. But I feel like the pacing of the show, like there's certain shows that, like we're in episode 5 and we still haven't met 2 of the couples. I feel like the pacing could be faster. Like they could have, like, for example, introduced those other 2 couples and then it would be a little bit, I feel like maybe that would fill up the time better. Bojangles Banana says, Kadie asked if it was a natural waterfall or do they turn it off at night? Lol, 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 lol. Yeah. Windy Wastelander says, when Kadie's ignorant ass had the nerve to compare eating seafood to eating rats, how effing disgustingly rude and culturally disrespectful can you get? There's a little thing called tact, you nonce. I don't think she did it on purpose. I really honestly don't think that she is the type of person that has malicious intent at all. I think she just says ignorant things without thinking. At least that's the sense that I get from her. She doesn't, it's not like Angela, where Angela's like, I'm an American, and just literally says the most culturally insensitive things out of her mouth and doesn't care. She knows that she's saying ignorant things and doesn't care. Chris says, very true. This could be a 3-episode season. Trick or that's a good name. Trick or Tretinoin. I used to use Tretinoin cream. Probably about, geez, I don't want to age myself. We'll just say a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. A dermatologist gave me Tretinoin cream and it helped clear up my acne. And it also has an added benefit of making your skin really soft too. But did we really need to see nearly nude Richard? No, we never need to see nearly nude Richard. But they keep, I mean, and related. Oh God, that was so messed up. Let me not say that. I take back, not related. And unrelated news. My 600-pound life is coming back soon, and that show. The reason why my mind said related is because at the beginning of each episode of my 600-pound life, they always kind of make them show themselves getting ready in the morning, and sometimes that includes showing them in the shower or on the front porch with a bucket. Yeah, that's a thing that happened. But that's what I mean by related, not to say that Richard is 600 pounds, because he's not. That's why I backtracked, because I thought that the way that rolled out might not sound right. Hell's Bells says, so Twat Richard has just given his girlfriend a camel toe. He thinks he's funny. He's not. He's just obnoxious and gross. If Katharine Hepburn was raised by wolves, says, he didn't even buy groceries for them. Retweeting another comment where they said Christine had a long haul flight with a small child and Sean couldn't clean the flat and set up Christian's room for her. Mm-hmm. Bubba McKenzie says, this dude makes Ji-hoon look on the up and up. Yeah, because if you recall, Ji-hoon was also a little bit shisty in the things that he was hiding, like with the illegal cell phone selling that he was doing. But I still think he was better than Sean. I think he only really lied about that one major thing. I think everything else he was pretty honest about. And why isn't he on a single life? Ji-hoon should be on a single life. Dixie Darling says, apparently love is not only blind, but it is common sense stealing. It is a common sense stealing bastard as well. Yeah, they're probably talking about Bridie. Emma M says, Kadie, you didn't risk your life going to the waterfall. There are kids going down there. It's hardly death-defying. I Love 90 Days says, I understand Victoria using laughter as a coping mechanism. when having tough conversations. But come on, you need to get to know this man and let him know that you're serious. Both Victoria and Sean have this problem with being or this problem with not being assertive enough. Agni Pawn says, Kadie is quite possibly the most British person I've ever seen in my whole life, and I literally live in Britain. The actual epitome of it. RJ says, I feel like Richard is the only person that finds himself funny. Yeah. Guilty Pleasure TV says, Christine must have really strong genes because I don't see a drop of Caucasian in this child. And we already talked about that. Toyman says, probably in jail for selling illegal phones. No, he was actually already prosecuted for that. That's why he didn't have money, because he owed restitution to the court. He was supposed to pay somewhere around $25,000 to $30,000 restitution to the court. So he's already convicted. I don't know whether in Korea that is a misdemeanor or a felony, but he's a convicted person who has to pay restitution to the court. So he's already been prosecuted for that. Danielle M says, the reason Richard has to go abroad for love. He's disgusting and no British woman would put up with his crap. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I don't know if you remember that. That was a real ride at Disney World. I don't know whether they still have it. I haven't been in so long. I don't know whether that's still a ride there. But they say, can we talk about the fact that Kadie has never had fish in her life, yet lives in the land of fish and chips? Yeah, that's what we talked about. Oh, funny thing. I went to a place in Orlando that is modeled after a pub in, I don't think they say specifically England. I think they just say UK. Because when we went in there, on the menu, one of the best things they had on there was the fish and chips. I mean, they were really, really, really good. But they also had, like, some of their servers were dressed just like regular service. But then there was 2 servers that had kilts on. So I think, because it was supposed to represent all of the UK, I think they might have also had Irish and Scottish food on the menu as well. But when we went in there, we weren't even intending on eating. We were just going to go in and have a beer. But the server said that they had the best fish and chips in America. And like, who can not challenge that? Like, okay, you're saying they're the best in America. I have to try them. They were all right. They were pretty good. I'm not gonna front. They were really, really good. I can't say whether they were the best in America because I'd have to eat at thousands of UK themed restaurants in America to see if that were true. I don't know why I just told that story, but I just did. Kadie says, Richard makes me feel sick from his voice, his clothing choices, his arrogance, and the way he was flopping on a bed. Call it what you want. Call it. That's probably call it what you need. Because from the Lil Nas X song says, y'all 90 Day Fiance UK is lit. I respect your opinion. It's not lit for me yet. Maybe it's going to get better. I'm hoping that it's going to get better. But I like your enthusiasm. RJ says, from now on, instead of saying I'm using PTO for a vacation, I'm going to say I'm going on holiday. It sounds more regal. LOL. I agree with that. And I've been wanting to say going on holiday. I want that to catch on in the States. It sounds better. Okay. Tarupi says, Victoria says, did Sean tell you who I am? Sean in Japanese. Tell her you know her, sister. I know who you are. Victoria, dump that guy right now. Let me see if there's audio on this little bit. It's replaying over and over again.
Japanese. Tell you who I am. I don't know how to say that in Japanese. Tell you who I am.
Yeah, it's odd.
I don't know how to say that in Japanese.
It's odd. It's an odd moment. Lulu says Richard has the worst fashion sense. I've been saying this whole time. 90 Day Meme. This is something from last week, but it's still talk aboutable. She's selling her house to bring a man from a different country in UK. This might be the craziest and most stupidest thing someone has ever done on 90 Day Fiance, and she has kids too. Now, if that is the case, like I said last week, I also think that it's a horrible decision. The streets are talking and saying that that's not the real reason why she's selling the house. The streets are saying that the real reason she's selling the house is because she was going through a divorce and the house was half owned by her ex-husband and it was going to be sold anyways to divide up the assets. So this could be a put on for TV. But let's see the clip that they put on here. Okay, I got the audio.
I'm selling my house because for the visa to get host here, they need a lot of money. And I just, being a single mom, I just don't have it. And I don't have another way of getting it. I mean, that's the plan. That's not like really a consideration. That's just, I'm not going to magic up the money some other way. I never thought that I'd do something this crazy, like selling my house and uprooting my life. For her, I honestly would do anything.
I like the red lip. I think that red lip on her with the red shirt looks really, really nice. I wish she would have gone with a stronger, like dark eyeliner. That would have really, really set it off. Or am I just saying that because that's what I do? I wear a red lip. And do I have enough eyeliner? Hopefully I have enough eyeliner on. I feel like it's not enough. It's never enough. Fominky Light says, yeah, I thought Richard was going to break them beds. Yeah, when he was jumping on them in the store. Okay, Blighty Day Fiance, which by the way, I saved their page because they have a podcast on YouTube. It's on other platforms too, because I checked their link tree and I think they're on like Anchor FM or Stitcher FM or something like that. But I'm going to listen to their podcast too, because it seems like it might be interesting. Because they put together this little reel, and I thought it was pretty funny the way it's edited. Shout out again to Blighty Day Fiance. I'm going to play their reel here. Did I put the audio up? Yeah.
I'm heading back to see Sean. I don't know what to say. Like all my fears are real.
Hi, I'm Sean.
I think Sean might propose to me on this trip.
That was very interesting and entertaining. I liked it anyways. I got a kick at it. 90 Day Gay says, ew, Kathleen, don't touch Richard. He's using you for selfish reasons and he's gross. Constant Reality Check says, God, poor Kathleen. Imagine having to deal with this. Massage me now. And then this is not to do with 90 Day UK, but still 90 Day. It says 90 Day Fiance leaks and reality gossips. Says couples that laugh together last together. And this looks like it is, I can't remember the couple's name, where the young lady went to Israel to marry the young man. I forget their names, but they were really, they're pretty funny on Pillow Talk. And she looks great. She looks like she's carrying her baby well. What did I do? Oh, I clicked on it. Let me go back. There we go. And I like her wedges. I love a good wedge because I teeter and totter when it comes to stilettos. So a wedge is what I need because I'm clumsy. Tony Man says, Richard's way of dress is exactly like I see around here. I saw a dude with so much drip printed all over his t-shirt and shorts. It looked like a pajama set to me. Well, here's the thing. Was he 14 or was he 48? Because there's a difference. When you're 14, yeah, go crazy. Wear tie-dye sweatsuits. You're a teenager. You're supposed to experiment with your look. Are you 48 and you're still wearing a tie-dye combo? Maybe it works for you. Maybe it doesn't. Chris says they are a cute couple. Yes. Sassy and Sporty Resale says, why do people who have no intention of experiencing any culture but their own get on international dating sites? Yeah, good question. Especially if you're, it's even odder because she's in the UK, which is a very small place. And the thing, like, I get it for an American to not be super well traveled, because technically we have so much. Well, number one, we have a huge country. Like there's some states, like the one that I'm in, that it takes you 9 hours to drive from the bottom to the top of just this one state in the US. Add to that any type of climate you want, we have. You want to see snow? We have Alaska. You want to see tropics? We have Key West and the territory of Puerto Rico. You want to see the plains? We have that. You want to see the desert? We have that. You want to see the jungle? We have a little bit of that too. You want to see the bayous? We have so many different things to see that are just within the US, and it costs so much money to travel beyond North America. Like it's not super expensive to go to Canada or go to Mexico because we're on the same continent, but to travel overseas it costs a lot more. Whereas where she is in UK, she can visit so many countries because they're so close. Like you could literally drive. You could drive, like the amount of time that it takes to drive from the bottom of Florida to the top of Florida, you could have driven through like 6 or 7 different countries in Europe. I'm just saying. So, I mean, it seems like there's more availability for people to be better cultured in Europe because of just the spatial area. It's very small with so many countries to go to and a very small space. I'm repeating myself. Cut the Steak on the Bias says they decided to get matching camel toe tattoos. 90-Day Mess says this man puts used dishes with food still on them back in the cabinet. And then there's an avatar of Black Jesus on the phone that says start the rapture. Marie Hayes says most of the tweets about, oh, well, this is not even about that. This is about Biggie's daughter. Yeah, I don't know if you heard that news story about Biggie's daughter. I won't go into it here, but there was a lot of negative tweets about how she looked rather than what she did, and that's not cool. So that's why we tweeted this person who wrote, most of the tweets about Biggie's daughter, Tiana Wells, promote featureism and colorism. There are so many ways to critique her mammy actions without mentioning her skin color and features. The TLDR is that she bailed her boyfriend out. And his bail was like over $1 million. And so she put her $1.5 million house up for collateral. But the gag is he is literally caught in 4K running over a mother and her child in an SUV. There's video of this. So he's not going to not get prosecuted. So that was a waste of bail money and a waste of putting up your home. But, you know, that's neither here nor there for me. Tony says dude was in his 30-40 tops. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you're pushing it at that age. Now we have another piece of news that I ran across after I did my live stream yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to talk about it. But shout out to Shaboody, hashtag 90-Day Fiance. I'm gonna click on this one so y'all could see better. It says, they say breaking, oh no, Eve's an acupuncturist. I hope she didn't stab Mo with any needles. And the headline reads, 90-Day Fiance star Eve Arellano arrested for battery and assault amid Mohamed Abdelhamid. I think it said Abdelhamid or Abdelhamid. That's what I think it probably is. Abdelhamid. Text cheating scandal. Like we talked about in the yesterday's show about his text cheating stuff. So basically, she might have beat his ass for cheating. Tournament says, I watched Top Gear and they had a race from the bottom of England to France. The whole race took them, I think, 5 hours. Yeah, you could drive 5 hours in, like, for example, Texas. You could drive 5 hours and you're still in Texas or California or where else can you drive for 5 hours and still be in the States? Those are the top 3 that I think of. Alaska, I think, is pretty large too, but I'm not 100% sure whether you'd be through it in 5 hours or not. Chris says people always go for the low-hanging fruit. I just hope he doesn't skip bail. I do too. I would hate for that to happen to her because that's just, man, I hate that she's even with that guy. I really hate that. Okay, this says the drama continues. 90-Day Fiance star Yvette Eve Arellano was arrested for domestic violence amid husband Mohamed Abdelhamid's Text cheating scandal. In Touch can exclusively confirm Eve 48 was arrested on August 15th on one count of battery against a household member and one count of assault against a household member in Albuquerque, New Mexico, according to court records obtained by In Touch. She was released on bond and her next hearing is scheduled for Tuesday, September 6th. And I think that might be the end of my tweets for this episode. Yes, it is, because these are talking about yesterday's. So I'm going to stop sharing and just say there's also other word on the street that it's possible that Eve did not beat his ass, because there is a recording floating around, which I can neither confirm nor deny, but there's a recording. I'm sorry. I'm mixing up recordings. There are two things floating around. One is a recording of Bridie saying that her house was going to be sold anyways because it's community property between her and her ex-husband and it was going to be sold off. That's the recording I'm thinking of. The other thing that's floating around is that Mohamed was texting the one or two, because apparently there's two women that he was texting, not just one, that one of the women told him that he would be able to keep his green card if he could prove domestic violence happened. And so he'd be able to leave Eve if he could prove that domestic violence happened. So there's that rumor going around that possibly Eve didn't touch him at all. But if she did touch him, I'm sure a lot of people are saying that they don't blame her if she did touch him. I don't know. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that Bridie is selling her house to bring dude over, or that she has to sell it anyways? And do y'all think Eve really beat Mohamed or didn't beat him? Tony Man says, say according to rumors and innuendo. I literally said they were rumors. Know what I could do? Do I have a banner that says allegedly? Hold on. I did. Shoot, I should have put up my banner. I forgot to put up my banner. Well, now it's there. Thank you, Tony Man, for reminding me. My banner is now there. Chris says she's out here ruining her life for strange dong. Ruining her life for strange dong. Shaking my head. Yep. Yeah, because she's a parent also. She doesn't need to. Well, when you say she, Chris, are you talking about Eve or are you talking about Bridie? Bridie's too much. She needs counseling, not a relationship. Yes, she does. All right. Anything else? Let me close out my Twitter stuff because we're not doing that anymore. Yeah, like I said, there's way less Twitter, I guess, messages. Well, tweets. I should just say tweets. I don't know why I didn't say tweets. For 90 Day UK than regular 90 Day. I don't know. Well, I guess it's because it's only available on Discovery Plus. It's not available on what do you call it? Regular television. But it still doesn't answer my question about that whole two versions of the tell-all thing. Because like I said yesterday, the tell-all that's on Discovery Plus, there is no Alejandro on that whole tell-all. But the other tell-all that I came across, Alejandro's sitting right there, whole segment with him. Don't get it. Chris says, haha, could be both. Yeah. Fomiculai says, I don't think Eve put hands on him. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I don't have anything else to say, so I don't want to like waste people's time. I'm going to get out of here. I got some stuff to do anyways, and I got some decorations from the dollar store too, but I'll show that on my other live stream. But like I said, Thursday I will be doing Hellbound and Ju-on episode 5, and then Friday is probably going to be another chill stream with no specific topic. So I think that's what I'll do this week. Friday's going to be the chill stream. We'll talk about the Halloween decorations then. And I will see you all later. I'm going to get out of here.